How's it going, guys? This is my review of my 1/18 scale Ford Mustang 1965 made by AutoWorld. Before I get into this review, I just want to tell you guys where I got this model from. This model was a little bit different. I didn't ended up picking up this model online. I ended up picking it up at my local hobby shop. My local hobby shop pretty much specializes in RC cars. And, I just went one day because I was bored to check out the inventory. And I ended up finding 5 of these 1/18 scale models. Not the same models, different kinds, but just 5 of them. And this one really caught my eye. I'm a huge fan of AutoWorld. I love AutoWorld. And I ended up picking this model up for $90. As I was checking out, the guy told me that he's glad that he finally sold it because this model has been sitting in his shop for years. He doesn't remember how many years, but he said that it's been sitting in his shop for years. So I picked it up for $90. I thought that was kind of weird, but I was kind of glad, picking up a model that's been sitting on the shelf for years, taking it home, bringing it into your own collection. That's a good thing. So once I get home, I check eBay just because I'm curious about, how else can I find this model. And I only find one listing of this particular model, and I find it for $229 being sold. And I was just surprised because I was so happy that I picked this up for $90. I don't know if that's the actual value of this car, but to find out that it's being sold on eBay for $229 and you picked it up for $90, that's a pretty good feeling. And this is part of the fun of this hobby is going around finding old models and then finding out that they're worth a lot more than what you paid for. And just know that you have something to continue to add value to your collection. It's a good feeling. So going into this review, I just want to say that this car's paint quality is absolutely amazing. One of the best ones that I've seen. The paint is just stunning. It's a beautiful red. No chips, no defects. The paint is super smooth. It's just a really good a paint job that was done on this car. I'm not a fan of the chrome windshield wipers. I'm not a fan of chrome, but and obviously that's not realistic, chrome windshield wipers. But it's alright. It's there's not too many flaws about this model. So let's start off in the front. So just moving on to the front, this grill here is a see-through grill, so you can obviously if you put your finger, which I'll show you guys, I'm put my finger in to the other side, you're gonna see my finger. So it is see-through. You have a beautiful Mustang badge right here. You have a Popular Mechanics license plate, which is actually, I believe it is a old magazine that this car featured in. Going on to the headlights, no pegs to be seen in sight, which is a good sign. I hate seeing pegs. I'm not a fan of chrome, but obviously I am a fan of chrome where it's supposed to be. Back then they did have these chrome bumpers. Beautiful chrome bumper. It looks really good, good quality. Nothing is out of whack. Nothing is, all the lines are where they should be. Just a good looking front end of the vehicle. Moving on to the side, this Mustang does feature full suspension, which is always a good thing to see. You do have the Mustang logo and the wording. That is not a sticker. That is part of the paint, which is really nice to see. Moving on to the wheels. These are one of the prettiest wheels that I've ever seen. The tire to be included with this red lining around the tire. It's really nice. The rims are nice too. They're chrome, and I know what you guys are thinking. Chrome doesn't really look that good in quality. But for a classic model like this, it actually really does. It complements it well. You also have a side bottom panel. It's chrome. It looks good. It's a one piece. It doesn't shake or anything like that. It's solid on there. You do have this, which is pretty accurate because they did have some really big handles back in the day. You do have this door handle that pops out super far from the model. Let's open this up. Interior is nicely detailed. You can't really see too much. I'm sorry because of the lighting. But it is nicely detailed. It does feature spinning steering wheel. The steering wheel does turn. You do have the seat belts right here. The seat does fold down. And other than that, I mean, there's not too much color in there, but the detail is there. Another cool feature about this model is if you can look closely, I'm sorry you see the glare, but this model does feature back seats that do fold up. It does feature back seats that do fold up and down, which is actually really cool. I was super surprised to see that about this model. And it just added to the value. It's just cool things like that, it really intrigued me with these small models. Moving on to the rear, we have the taillights, which are nicely detailed. We have another emblem right here, again nicely detailed. You have the Popular Mechanics license plate. Opening up the trunk, you have a information sticker that's back there in the trunk. That's pretty cool to see. Opening it up, I know it's kind of dark in here, and again, I do apologize for that, but what you have is a spare tire, and you have just the regular flooring, but the flooring is like a weird material. It feels really smooth. It's not carpet. This model does not feature carpet, but it's actually really smooth. It feels nice, you know, no complaints at all. Good details. Let's close that. Moving on to the side of the model. Again, you guys can see the interior a little better. Like I said earlier, no carpet on this model whatsoever. It's kind of disappointing. I actually really like when models have carpet, but it's alright. It's not a big deal. You do have these vents that are over here that are not see-through. You cannot see yourself on the other side, so they're not open, they're not real, but still a nice touch. The lines on this vehicle, they're not perfect. You do have a little bit of a huge gap right here. It's like smooth over here, and then it opens up in the hood a little bit. Not big complaints, doesn't throw you off too much. You have a nice antenna that is retractable. It goes down and then it comes back up, so that is a good feature. Opening up to the hood, now this is what I was talking about. You see my finger on the other side, so it is see-through, which is nice. Opening up, the engine is you could see the bottom, the ground through the engine. I love that. It's not one plastic slab, it's actual pieces and wires. This engine is highly detailed, and it's super nice. Definitely a nicely detailed engine. You have some color in there. You have wires in here. One of the better detailed engines I've seen in models. It also has, before I end this review, it also has these kind of hinges to bring up the hood. And I actually really like these hinges because they're super strong. They don't wear out. They're pretty good. I really don't like, I'm not a fan of the hooks like these. These little hooks that you see back here, I'm not a big fan. I know the trunk actually does have hooks like these, but when they do that for the front, I'm not a big fan of that. But this time they did it really well. So overall, this model is a steal. It is a really nice model. If you guys can pick it up for a good price, I definitely recommend it. It's a beautiful piece to my collection, and definitely don't regret buying it. Thank you guys for your time. Please like, comment, subscribe, and more videos to come. Thank you.